So, to begin, let's start with mastery. Nah, we'll do runes first. Alright. We'll take ADC and we'll make it nothing. Clear it. Turn the music down a slight tad. Alright, so you can start your rune page any way you like, but I go marks, seals, glyphs, quints, usually, is how I like to think about it first. So, depends what type of champion you're being, obviously, usually. But let's say, general. This page would be good for all. You could pick this every single game and do well. So, the best possible mark for everyone in general, non-specifically, would either be AD or attack speed. Because, no matter what champion you are, you want to kill minions, and every single champion can auto-attack. Most of them, we'll say like half the champions, specifically like auto-attacking, and it's very helpful to them. Probably a lot over half, but everyone does. And it's useful for minions, makes you, if you're a mage or whatever, not have to use as much mana. So you just have to decide what kind of champion you are and how often you auto attack. I heard recently, thinking about, say, Maokai specifically, Maokai gets a heal off auto attacking and usually goes Grasp the Undying. So in that case, attack speed would be way better. Let's say you are Tristan. Let's say you're Varus. Varus already gets a bit of attack speed buff, and you mostly shoot spells as Varus. So as Varus, you would either go attack damage, or you would go lethality, very likely, depending upon your view on it, I suppose. I mean, if you're against a lot of tanks, for sure lethality is way better, but even 14 flat lethality against a non-tank will still be very efficient early game. Seeing as they have base armor, they might have went armor seals, or even quints if they're support, or top lane or whatever. So for generality, that's the best marks. The auto attack focused ones. Moving on to seals. Let's just pick one. We'll say we picked attack speed was the best for whatever. Maybe we're Tristana or Twitch or something. For seals, I actually don't own the best seals in the game for sure. I just was not aware. I was in the old mindset of just go 9 armor all the time. It's very old and outdated nowadays. The best seals are flat health, which this is flat health, but this is tier 2. Flat health or scaling health are the best because so much percent of champions do magic damage. Every single champion does do physical damage, but health blocks both. Technically, if you have 100 health, you can get hit by 50 physical and 50 magic, and you absorbed 100 health damage if you had no defense stats and they had no whatever, if that's the only facts we have. But say you have 9 armor, which is like 100 health, but if they do all AP, then it's like you have 0 health, because armor does not protect you from magic damage. And there's even a lot of champions that abilities scale with AD, but do magic damage. Let's think of an example. Some of them have been changed. Corky is a good example. That he builds mostly attack damage, but mostly magic pen, because his passive converts his damage into magic damage. His ulti, I'm pretty sure, scales with AD, but still does magic damage. I've seen AP Corkies though. It's a possible thing. I don't recommend it because if you build all AD, you do magic damage anyways. What's another example? Kagma does a ton of magic damage, even though most people build AD on him. Varus' auto blight destruction thing is magic damage. It does scale with AP though, so that's a bad example. MF used to, they just switched it to AD. Anyways, so armor is quite a bit worse actually, but there's an argument between if tier 2, even if it's the better, 56 health instead of, I think tier 3 is like 75 health. Is it still better than armor? Well, depends on what you go on your glyph and your quints. So we'll say that we're gonna go, if we went this, we probably wouldn't go magic resist. Say we're 80 carry. Switch this back. Say we're 80 carry. Why can't I spell 3 letters? Alright. So we went health. We're planning not going magic resist because we went health. And it's more efficient. So, almost all AD carries do not go AP glyphs. In fact, most champions do not go AP glyphs. Even mages, even AP supports. The best general glyph is either attack speed or CDR probably. Now, attack speed on ADC, very obvious. Really good, especially since you went the health, you don't go magic resist anymore. You could go CDR, but scaling magic resist is very efficient though. And on most of the ADCs I'm thinking about that I like, Tristana, Caitlyn, Ashe, Twitch, ones that are auto tech focused. I don't want CDR, so I would rather still go MR. And I still, again, like if I had 9 attack speed glyphs, I would for sure go that. And I could buy them, but I'm saving up for something else. So anyways, I would still go magic resist even though you don't have armor. Health in this is not good. It's possible you can't even buy it, but if you can, it's just the way they made runes is they scale better in different categories, even if you can buy them in all of them. So health is the best here, damage is the best here, CDR, magic resist are the best here, and then quints are everything. So we're ADC, we went these, then quints. If you're Tristana, something like that, auto tech focused, for sure go even more attack speed. The best thing for sure. It's one of the best quints anyways. Just flat out. Let's clear it all and just go back to whatever. It's nothing. We'll say general again, I guess. So that was like, you can go that every single time. 9 attack speed. Health. This is like, okay, say we're going the general, like I said before. then we'd probably go the magic resist, which, like I said, you would want just 9 of these and not flat ones like I'm doing. Or you could go 9 flat, but scaling is better. And then you would go, we're not 80 carry, we're just whatever, so either AD, lethality, or armor are the best ones, especially since you want no armor here. This armor gives you way more armor. 12.8 instead of 9. It's very good, actually. And you got, this way you're so tanky, but also still 15 attack speed. And it's all like, except for the scaling MR, super good early laning phase. No matter who you are, you will be able to not die. And not dying and having higher health allows you to play more aggressive and do more damage. Even though you're not getting a ton of damage from this rune page, you will be able to last hit well, you'll have high health. When the enemy hits you and does less damage to you, you'll win trades. If they are going, say they went full, if you're mid lane, say they went full AP, magic pen marks, I guess maybe they went health seals, but then they went AP glyphs, AP quints. You have, I guess right away you'd have like 9 or 10 magic resist, 50 flat health, all this armor. You're gonna take way less damage than them, even though they went full damage, and the idea is, oh, I went full damage, I'm gonna do more damage than you! You didn't go all this damage. But especially because of the minion waves, that's the main thing about the game you have to understand, is that's a lot of damage early game. You get jungle ganked by mostly AD jungles, usually. Not always. Maybe it's half and half, but they all auto-attack at least. Early game, both champs auto-attack you, the minions auto-attack you. That's all armor, health. So this tankiness is actually, in most scenarios, going to work out better for you in your laning phase and help you do better. Alright, let's do a little bit of specific stuff. We'll change this back to ADC, even though we already gave you that example. Attack speed. Health. I think even though it's tier 2, I think it's still better. Attack speed. And then more attack speed. Alright. Now, obviously there's minimum 5 different styles of champions, we'll say. So, next we'll say, let's go from the top. You're an assassin. You're an AD assassin. Your best mark is probably lethality, armor pen. You could also go attack damage. It scales with your abilities doing more damage, but your abilities also do more damage because they have lethality. And lethality gives you a higher stat number. And lethality is better than armor pen was. It scales better late game, which is really good for runes. It's really good early and late game. And like I said, it's 50% more stat than if you went 80 marks. So it's way better. Unless your argument is that you're in the jungle and you're hitting camps with not that high of armor. So the flat AD help you early with your really early clear. But they do have some armor. The big camps have more armor. So it's still arguable to go AD or lethality. I think lethality is way better. People are gonna decide that as the season progresses, obviously. But I'm pretty sure the fact that it gives way more and that it's changed to lethality from armor pen, and if you type that in Google or wherever you like to look, lol wiki, or I don't know, you will find lethality is way better than armor pen was. So that's what you would go. I'm an assassin. And then I'm an assassin. I still think the flat health is better here, even though I have tier 2. I was going armor only because this is tier 2, but I still think flat health is better. And then you would for sure want CDR probably as an assassin. Is my guess. You don't care as much about magic resist because you're just going to insta-kill the enemy with your abilities. You just want your abilities to be up. So I think the best is to go 6 flat and 3 scaling. You get 10 that way. Obviously you can go more scaling, but I like having 5 flat level 1. It's really good. If you go all flat, you only get 7.5 and you have to use a quint to get 10. And 10 is universally good for your runes. You don't want more than 10 almost ever, and less than 10 is questionable that you're even why you're getting CDR at all. 40 is the cap, and it's a few items like Black Cleaver, Triforce that give 20%. This gives you 30. Then you buy CDR boots, you have 40, or you buy one item with 10, 40. So 10 is pretty dang good. And then for your quints, obviously you could go even more lethality, and you would if they're really tanky. But 14 is going to do what you need against squishy targets. The flat AD will be more helpful to you. And there's also situations, if you're in the jungle, say you're Kazakh's jungle, it's actually armor quints are going to help your clear and have higher health better. And having higher health, having a better clear, allows you to do better when you gank the enemy with higher health. And you know you can't get bursted very well because you have the best quintessence for defense, armor quints. It works out very well for you. I mean, the early AD for getting that one quick kill early game is for sure better, but like over time, the armor would be way better. And then, like I said, for the better clear, also, almost all, I think maybe 100% of all the damage in the jungle is AD. Pretty sure that's true. Not from Baron, but everything else. Pretty sure all AD. I know they all auto attack. I can't think of anything that does AP. Pretty sure. I'm questioning Rift Herald and Dragon a little bit, because I know you can spell shield Dragon auto attacks. I still think they do AD only though. They're just spells for some reason. AD spells, auto attacks. Rift Herald I'm sure doesn't do magic damage either. Baron for sure does though. So only Baron. So unless you're doing crazy early Baron, armor, I mean even against Baron, armor's the best defense stat too, I'd say. There's a chance you could argue that you would rather have health, especially if you're someone that heals to full well. Say your Mundo also scales with health, you might want flat health. But yes, Assassin. AD Assassin. Obviously, AP Assassin would be slightly different because you would go Precision. Precision is really OP right now, the way the numbers are. Magic Pen marks is 0.87. Precision gives you 0.62. You end up losing only like 4. No, it's like 2. Here, we'll show you. Here. See this one, APCDR, 7.8 Magic Pen. This one I went Precision, and you get 5.5. You lose 2.3 Magic Pen only, but you also will have the 10.2 lethality, which most champions, Fizz, LeBlanc, Ari, Sona, all of those, Armor Pen is really good on still, even though you're not going to build AD. Especially early game, and you do not lose very much Magic Pen. But I have this one thinking, my thought process is that I'm not going to auto-attack them much. Say I am... Brand is a very good example of someone that doesn't necessarily need to auto-attack enemy. Obviously, he still has decent auto-attack range, and it still does whatever 50 damage level 1. But it's auto-attacking with Brand is not part of your combo, is what I'm getting at. Which is different than like Lux, Mix Pen on Lux, early game, super good because you have that auto-attack proc. Victor, super good auto-attack Q, second Q proc with your passive. So, and then my other point is that the other way doesn't work very well because here you get 14.4 armor pen, but the mixed one gives you only 10.2, so you actually lose 40%, a little above 40% of your lethality, which is way more. So it's way more efficient for an AP person to go precision than AD. Alright, that's AD and AP assassins. We'll move on to fighters. Most fighters are either going to go lethality or tanky. Lots of them are going to go tanky. You might, there's a small chance you'd want flat AD instead of lethality, but I don't agree. So, for a fighter, your rune page would be very similar to assassin or tank, depending upon. That's mostly your own decision. Mage. And then, like I said, like I explained before, like most of the things are going to stay the same. Like, look at this tank CDR page, full tank, but I want CDR also. Flat health is the best mark. You could go armor too, but probably not. And then, I mean, I think flat health seal is better, but like I said, mine's tier 2. And scaling health is really good on Mundo, Braum, Tom Kench, Scion, just anyone like that that actually does follow bear more damage with more health. Scaling up to the late game, this will be better. And then for tanks like this, say it's Nasus or I don't know, someone that I'm wanting CDR a ton on, I think getting 10 flat early is super good. And then you go the best defense Quint armor. Then if you're a regular AP person, like I said, the mix pen. I'm going to switch this back to flat health even though it's tier 2. And then the magic resist. Magic resist glyphs are almost always way better than AP glyphs, unless you know that you're not going to trade early and that you're just not going to take damage from the enemy. Which, if you're like Lux against LeBlanc, you want these magic resist. If you're a LeBlanc against Lux, you want these magic resist. So there's just not very many situations. Okay, if you're Malzahar, say you're Malzahar, most of your matchups you could probably go AP glyphs because all you're gonna do is spawn voidlings, bounce your E visions to different minions and run away, or hurt the enemy for free if they're playing wrong against your wave clear. Ult people, they can't attack you. So for Malzahar, I can see not needing the magic resist. But like I said, in normal matchups, Ziggs, Lux, LeBlanc, Ari, all those magic resist glyphs better. And then obviously AP Quints, because you are a mage. You want some AP? Please? And that's about it, really, for my description of runes. To recap, the best for defense, health, and marks. For offense, attack speed, lethality, or precision. Basically, those are the only 4 you're gonna go, 4 or 5-ish. Seals, flat health, the best. You're probably not gonna go much armor anymore, because flat health is just so OP. And that's about the only seal I go. Pretty close. I also went scaling health for a tank. For ones that are going to buy lots of health. It's only good if you're going to buy lots of health. And you scale with health. Flat health. This one I also went scaling health because it's tank again. Flat health. Flat health. Flat health. Okay, so seal's pretty obvious. For glyphs, like I said, if you're some kind of crazy mage that doesn't trade, and just doesn't get hurt much, AP is the best, but for most people, Magic Resist is one of the best ones. CDR, if you really need CDR, obviously is the best one, but if you're AD carry, attack speed, the best one. For quintessences, attack speed on most people is going to be one of the best ones, or lethality. If you're a tank, obviously armor. Even if you're not a tank, if you just need to survive better laning phase, survive better jungling, armor quints. That is my description of runes. I hope that you learned something, or that maybe you already know something, you want to tell me about it. Feel free. Hit that follow button. Like me on social media. Also, some people call me Tim. YouTube, subscribe, watch my videos. The end.